In this video, I will show you the next steps on how to continue your combat robot build in Fusion. Okay, so first thing is you should log into your account and then make sure you pull up the same chassis that you made last time. You can go to remember your home, your dashboard, and then from dashboard, select the project, and from that left side of the screen, you can select the file that you created. It should have the name of the robot that you are making. It should be there. Pull it out, and then you see how right now I'm looking at the whole robot. I want to work on the chassis still because the chassis is not fully done. So make sure that you click on this. So you see the eyes right now, you're still working on the chassis. If you select over here, that means you're working on the whole robot. We're not working on the whole robot, we're just working on the chassis. So what we should be doing is you should go to the chassis part and then stay there. Now if you look, this is if you click on this, go back in time on your timeline and click on your the sketch. This is your sketch, and you can also press S on your keyboard and put change parameters to see what your parameters were. And remember, your parameters were the length was 120, that was this part, so this is where the wheels are going to go, and then the width was 130. Now what I will do is I'm going to make the length a little bit bigger, like 145, because that's where the wheels are going to go. So look, what I will do is I'm going to put 145 and press enter, and you can see how it changed everything. And you see now I know that this will be the side where the wheels are going to go, and so let's work on that. So make sure that before you do anything, that you are still on chassis, and then go to create a sketch, and then it'll ask, well, what plane do you want to select? Don't select this one. That means you're going to start right at the center origin point. I want to select this one because I'm making the sketch over here to make the hole for the wheel. So once you do that, let's try to find the center point of this chassis. So you see how I went to the line, the where it says create line, right? Underline. There's an option that says point. Go to point, right? And then start from one end until you see a triangle. You see right there, you see a triangle. That means that's the midpoint of that line. And let's do the same thing for this line over here. Where's the midpoint? Right there. And then now, you know that where they meet, like that. You see how right there? That's the midpoint of the whole chassis. Let's draw a line for that. Let's start from here and draw a line from here to here, and then another line from here to here, so you can see the midpoints of everything. Now these two lines, right? Right now you see how I can select 4 different squares. That's because the software is thinking that these are real lines, and they're not. They should not be a real line because I use them just to find the midpoint. So what you should do is you select the line, and then you just select over here to make it construction. Same thing, select the line and make it construction. So now it's not selecting it, it's not treating this face as 4 different parts, it's just one part, because those lines are imaginary lines in your head. Now go to circle and create a center diameter circle, and then put 23 for the diameter, because that's the diameter that will fit the motor that you're going to put. So I selected 23 millimeters diameter from the center, and now just use the cube a little bit and angle it, and you're gonna cut this surface. So select it first and then press E, and then you see how it's trying to cut. Use the cube to pan around. It's trying to cut this way. I don't want it to cut that way because there's nothing there. So where it says extend type, go to object and then put what object. Well, I'm going to put this object because that's the inside of the chassis where we're going to cut that hole into, and then press OK. Now once you do that, you see now you would think, oh, I have to do the same thing on that other side too, right? Because you have 2 wheels. Now this video is actually for the teams that are making a chassis with 2 wheels. So if you have a chassis with 4 wheels, there will be a separate video. So now, how to make the hole right here? Well, that's easy. You don't have to do the same thing that you just did. All you have to do is go to press S on your keyboard and type in mirror, and then we're gonna mirror the command that we just did. And then it says, what do you want to mirror? Well, not a body. I want to mirror a feature. Select feature, and then select the feature that you just made. That's this last hole that you made, right? And then the mirror plane, select the mirror plane to be this one, the center, so that way you can easily cut the hole on the other side. You see how now you didn't have to do it 2 times, you just have to do it once and then mirror it on the other side. Now, this is perfect. Now all you need to do is get the components, like the motor mounting motor mount piece in there and join it. So how do you get the motor mount and all the other CAD files? Well, I'm going to show you how to get it. Let me sign out of my account and show you the student version of this account so you can see where I get that file from. So I'm going to sign out of my account so I can see how you would see your account, and then I'll show you how to get the CAD file for the motor mount. So let me sign out. Press save to save it, and then I'm going to sign out, and then I'm going to sign into my student version of the account. So if you look at your student account, right, you see right now, look at the hub that you created. If you go to the hub that you created, right, there's another hub. You should have access to another hub that says BattleBots. Click on that. In this hub, you have access to everything that's on my screen. And if you go down to this CAD file, you see how it says resources CAD file? Go open that. So once you go into the hub that I created, which is BattleBots, right? What you want to do is go to resource files, go to where it says the DotBox Pro CF mount plate for the motor. Select that one and say you want to export it. So let me just look at it first. Double click on it to open it, and then go to file. You see how I double click on it to open it like this, and then go to export, and then put it into your download, or you can even put it into your desktop, or you can put it into you see right now it's trying to save it. And also make sure the file type is a step file, and then put export, and so basically it's in your download file of your computer. Now go to your own hub. The reason why you can't use this file is because it's in my hub. So you have to transfer it to your hub so that way you can actually use it. You have to copy it and you put it to upload it to your hub so you can use it on your robot. So now I'm gonna go back to my hub, not the BattleBots hub, the student version hub that is called Be Smart Robotics. And then what I could do is I could let's say upload, and then select the file, and then go to your downloads, and then select the file from download and say I want to upload it here. Upload. So it will show up right there. Now all you have to do is just drag and drop it into your actual sketch that you're doing, the actual working on the chassis. You see how it's downloading right there? Now I can just grab and put it into a folder. So let me show you how that works. Sign out. Now I'm going back to my admin account. So I'm going to show you how you would, imagine that you're working on this robot, right? The chassis that you were working on. So you sign into the hub that I created, right? BattleBot hub, and you So under BattleBot Hub, you grab onto the CAD file for the motor mount. So it is under right here. You see, so just like how I showed you, you would select this and then you will say, I'm gonna drag this in here. But before you do that, let's make another component in your robot. So I'm going to go back here and then select a new component and say that this is going to be the electronics, because motor is part of electronics and this is a motor mount. So right now you see how it says electronics. So make sure that you highlight on electronics and then grab this and then drag it into here. You see, now you have the motor mount. So I'm going to select the arrow to pull it up, and then what I want to do is I want to turn it this way, and then I also want to turn it like using this way, like 90 degrees, right? And then I want to put it like right there. So let's put it here for now. What I want to do is now I want to join this piece with that piece. So how do I do that? So now you see I'm on electronics, and let's go to where it says under assemble joint. So it's gonna ask, what do you want to join? Well, I want to join this piece, and right now you see how that's the middle part of the thing, right? So you can press Control and then hold down the Control key so you can get to the middle of this thing. You see how that's the middle? I want that with the middle of, I'm holding down the Control like that. So you see how the middle are jointed now. So that plate got moved right here, and then what I could do is usually we mount the plate outside, so I can just press this arrow to push it a little bit this way so that it's you know, it's on the outside. It's on the outside of the robot. So you see how like you can use this arrow to move it this way or that way. I moved it like 10 millimeters, maybe let's say -9. So that it's like right outside the wall. That's where I want it, because that's where the wheel will go. And then after you do that, now you can come back to your chassis, right? And then you can still see that they are jointed together. And if you want to see them both together, you go to the actual robot and you can see, oh, they're jointed together now. And then another thing I want to do is I want to actually go to the electronics and then use what's called project tool to cut holes, because you see how when you're mounting this motor mount, you have to cut holes, right? So to do that, you have to cut holes like right there, and right there. So let's do that. So I'm going to, now I'm on electronics. Okay, I'm not in chassis, I'm in electronics, and then I'm going to say P, and then P is for project, and then I'm going to select this surface. It will ask, what do you want to project? Well, I want to select you see how this hole need to be cut, and this hole need to be cut, and then this hole need to be cut, and this hole need to be cut. So I projected those 4 geometries. Press OK. And what I want to do is now I want to go to the chassis, and you see how I can see those projections that I did. You see how you can kind of reference it? So now I'm in chassis, and what I want to do is I want to cut those holes. So select this and go at an angle, so you can select that and select this and then select this. So you see how I selected all 4 holes? Select that and then press E after you select it, and then say I want to do a cut. So I'm going to do a cut, not a new body, cut, and then it will say cut. What do you want to cut? And then distance extent type, put to the object, and the object is what object do I want to cut to? This object, right? So that way it can cut like that. So now I have the holes for one side, and then once you do it one side, you're gonna use the same tool that you use the other side to cut on the other side. So like the mirror tool. So how do you do the mirror tool? Press S and then go to mirror, and then mirror, and it will say object type is features, and object, you're gonna select this, the last one that you did, and the mirror plane, you're gonna say that mirror plane, and then boom. You see how it should cut it on the other side just like that, and now you're done with that. You know, you cut the holes on both sides. So you basically have most of the chassis done, and at that point I think we'll stop. What you could also do, matter of fact, you can go back to electronics, right? And if you really want, what you could do is you can grab under electronics, grab another mount if you want, and then put the mount in the right spot, so that way you don't have to do this, but if you do it, it does look good. It's and make a joint on this side. You see how I'm on electronics now. I want to move that again back and make a joint with that. So how do I do that? Let's spin this. So I'm gonna spin it. I'm going to first spin it this way, 90 degrees, and then I'm going to spin this that way, like that. So, and then I'm going to move it somewhere over there, and then press enter, and then now you just have to do a joint. How do you do a joint? Go where it says assemble and go to a joint, and then it will ask, well, what two things do you want to join? Well, then select first thing by hitting control, and then select the center of it, and then go to the wall, and then select control, and you see now motion is rigid, meaning that these things do not move, and then the only thing is that mount is inside. So I'm going to double click on it, press OK for now, and then once you do that, let's edit that, because you see how that last one, let's say I'm going to move this and join it like here, go to a joint, and then select hit control on, and then just like hover over to the center, and then for component 2, let's hover over and put a center there, and then after you do that, you could use this arrow to kind of fix it and push it out. And let's see what happens if I put 9 to see if it sticks out. I think that's good. That means it's sticking out. And then press also the motion type is rigid, meaning that it's not gonna move. So now I have pretty much 2 pieces added, and then if you look over here, you can see your robot with the motor mounts added. Alright, I'm gonna stop here.